All right, we are live.
We are in.
And for any new viewers, new listeners, this is actually the first ever podcast in Gymbros podcast history that we're doing in English. So,
really?
Get prepared for some horrible,
Yeah.
Scandinavian accents here.
Yeah.
Scandinavian accents. Yeah, horrible.
Anyway, for regular viewers and listeners, you all know me and Vetle. But we have a guest today from Iceland, Omar. I can't say your last name.
Yeah. It's Omar Smári Óttarsson.
Yeah.
Wow.
Please give us a short introduction and a presentation of who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So basically, I'm 28 years old. I'm a bodybuilder here in Iceland. I've been working out since I was probably around 15. Ever since I was a kid, I was a fat kid. I always had those toys, muscular toys, Hulk and Spider-Man and everything, And my dad he was a fireman, and he was also in Afghanistan for a while, and he was a power lifter, did some powerlifting meets, and my mom was doing bench press competitions and was working in a gym, and I was always I was around that a lot, and it was like I always wanted to be like muscular, but I had no idea how to do it. So I remember I was when I was a kid, I was start writing my meal plan. I was like 1, and then I did an apple, and then 2, I did a banana.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I started. And my mom was working in a gym, local gym that was like more like a women's gym, and I was seeing like how they were working out, and they were running up and down the stairs and doing cardio, and so I did the same stuff as the women. I was running up
To tone.
the stairs, like doing the cardio, thinking I would be muscular, doing that, and then just eating vegetables and nothing else. And then once I met these guys, a bit older than me, that where I was watching these old videos of, Johnny Jackson, Branch Warren, and Jay Cutler, and they were always, had noise. And in this gym, it was a women's gym, but they had these metal plates. You could really hear the metal plates go and like ding, ding, ding,
And banging.
And once I was running up and down the stairs, and they came up to me, who the fuck is running up down the stairs? Why doesn't he just run home? And then they were like, hey, you. And I was like, yeah, get the fuck down and come and take bench press. And I was like, okay. And I was, looking at them, and they were, bigger than me and older than me. And I started, lifting with them. And so my lifting careers kind of started being, they were, squatting like 140 kgs, and I was squatting, the bar, maybe 60 kgs. But then I was like, watching these videos with them, and we were lifting for like 3-4 hours, and I wanted to be like as strong as them. So sometimes when they had 140 kgs on the bar, I said like, okay, I'll try it. And they're like, no. and I either I took it or fell down. So this was kind of like the starting point of like how I would get stronger and lift heavy. And then I asked this guy, I remember what he said. I said, how can I get, big like you guys? And he came and looked at me and I said, you know what? Go home. And I said, okay. And open your fridge. I was like, okay. And eat everything. I do that like 6 times a day. So yeah, I kind of start doing that. And then came this period of time we were working out, and we used to go before the gym, meet in this one guy's house, watch a couple videos, and then go to the eat, get some pre-workout, go to the gym for 3-4 hours, really lifting and taking 10-20 sets of everything, and then straight after go to the shop. When other kids were stealing candy, we were stealing chicken breast. But we didn't have any money. Yeah, we didn't have any money, so and then after we used to go to this one guy's house and cook chicken and eat. so yeah, this was kind of the starting point, and they introduced me to all these heroes, Branch Warren, Johnny Jackson, and Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, and it's like, yeah. So there I kind of learned okay, you need to eat big to get big,
Yeah,
it's kind of
the only way.
Yeah, they're the only way, and that period of time in Iceland, they actually had 2 competitions every single year in November and April, and there used to be a lot of competitors, like 6-7 in bodybuilding, plus 90 kgs and then under 90 kgs, and there was this men's physique class, and then there was also this fitness class that was like classic basically, but they were wearing these regular bodybuilding trunks.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I want to try to compete. So at 16,
IFBB?
Yeah, it was IFBB. So at 16 or 17, I took my first competition and became like a junior champion.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, it was awesome. It was but still, learning about nutrition and gaining more knowledge about everything. I was so hungry in the prep. I was like, there's something. Talk to my mom. There's something I can eat. What's healthy? And she was like, well, dark chocolate is healthy. And I was like, oh, yeah, great. Peanut butter is healthy.
Yeah.
And I used to make these peanut butter cups and eat those a lot. And I was like, it's so good because it's healthy,
Of course.
So on my diet, I remember I didn't have one single line in my leg in my first competition, but it was enough to win. So
It's a testament to you don't have to do anything perfect as long as you put in maximal effort.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway,
for sure.
This podcast is we are going to talk about how it is to be a bodybuilder in, first and foremost, Iceland and in Norway. As me and Vetle talked about before we started, that these 2 countries are probably the worst in the world to actually be a bodybuilder because of all challenges with laws and such. As you mentioned, I remember when I started, like in the early 2000s, around 2002, 2003, and so on. I remember Iceland. There were a lot of competitors, like bodybuilders in all weight classes, several of them. I remember one guy, Julius, something he was called. I think he competed in minus 100 kilos. He was always competing, always. Every show he was competing. And I remember in 2008 it was like the Nordic Championships in Iceland, and there, I guess, a couple of hundred competitors. It was a lot. I also remember when we were in Iceland, the food, because of the food here in Norway is like very expensive compared to other countries, but in Iceland, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, wow.
It was insane.
It's really funny that you mentioned it, because me and Vetle.
Yeah.
You pronounce your name Vetle, right? Vetle.
Vetle.
Yeah, Vetle. I was like, Velle. But when we met in at the gas competition in Sweden,
2004.
we were actually
2024.
Yeah, 2024. We were actually like, we were kind of like, he was saying, "Oh, I know it's like this and that," and I said, "Well, that ain't shit. In Iceland, it's like this and this, you know." And he was like, "Well, Norway is like that," and I was like, "No, Iceland is like this, you know." And we were kind of like, you know, talking about how
really random that we met, because we were done competing, and me and two friends, we were out to get some burger and fries, and then we saw two people and they looked like bodybuilders, so I just approached them, started talking, and we bonded over how bad it is to bodybuild in our countries.
yeah. It's really funny. Yeah. We were. It was. Yeah. It was. It was really, really funny.
We sat there, got to know each other, and we spent the rest of the evening together. Went out, got a beer at a local pub, and getting a beer at a local pub at a Sunday in Sweden. There's only alcoholics there.
Yeah, they were like they were only
fucked up people that were there.
Yeah. I was like, wow, there's like 6 crackheads here, you know. It's like
and there was this super fucked up lady that was constantly coming over to our table and just rambling nonsense.
yeah. Fuck. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and in this town, like so what they call it, Södertälje.
Södertälje.
Yeah, Södertälje. I was like, what the fuck is this place, you know?
Södertälje is a proper ghetto place. It's one of the worst places in Sweden.
that hosts Europe's best bodybuilding competition.
Yeah. I saw that also now, like last weekend. You know, a lot of weirdos, you know, lots.
A lot of the gangs that come from Sweden, they are based in Södertälje.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
Foxtrot, they started in Södertälje, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I heard that they were saying like this is the place, like really bad place, and I was like, wow, okay.
You can see it when you go around the street, because it's very ghetto. But sometimes there comes like Geländerwagens, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, like proper expensive cars, and you're just wondering, what the fuck is that car doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
I
guess to go back a little bit in time, because as I previously said, that I remember Iceland to be like a great nation with a lot of good bodybuilders and fitness competitors. The same were here in Norway. We had like on the Norwegian championships, there could be around maybe 200, 250 competitors. But
the big thing here in Norway must be that steroids got illegal.
Yeah.
Was it maybe the same in Iceland? Was it ever allowed?
No, never allowed. But I used to hear, you know, they used to be able to get like proper, they could get like this basically these basic things, you know, test and DECA, and then for you know, when they were cutting down, they could get, you know, proper amphetamine pills from the doctors, you know, office.
like Ritalin and such.
Mhm.
Yeah, so something like that.
Okay.
And like, yeah, like it was pretty crazy. Like some of these dudes, like John Paul, you know, he used to compete in bodybuilding, and he did like World's Strongest Man, won that, and 2 months later he competed in bodybuilding in Iceland and was completely shredded to the bone. So this guy used to go take the you know, assault bike or something like that, and into the sauna, and used to be like, you know, like for an hour in the sauna on assault bike.
Wow.
You know, fucking crazy, and getting shaped like that, you know, and became like a champion, and these guys, you know, they had a gym back in the day called Gym 80, where they used to like do power bodybuilding. So basically, they used to everybody used to compete in strongman or power bodybuilding or something like this, but also do some extra sets, for just really work hard, really like lift heavy weights, and everybody in the community was so nice. They used to be really like together as a family, and everybody like really smashing the weights together. I actually heard after they used to have in the gym like a ice cream machine that they used to blend the protein powder with it, and the protein powder was so thick they used to blend it in the blender, and it was like, but still it had like chunks in it of some protein powder. Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
As Vetle said that when steroids got illegal here, then it all changed, because it all started back in 2013, I think it was. The police did like two big operations. They were actually called Operation Hush and Operation Stormfall, where they targeted like steroid manufacturers and sellers. And at this time, it also came a new law that forbid everybody to either have or use steroids. Up until that point, it was actually legal to have steroids for your own use and to use it. But after the new law came in place, it's illegal. So now it's basically in the same category as narcotics.
Yeah.
We also saw a big crackdown on bodybuilding. So the police was showing up at gyms, showing up at competitions.
Yeah.
They were scouring through Instagram and just looking at you. Okay, you look big. You have to use steroids. Then they would just go pick you up.
Yeah,
that was their probable cause.
Yeah.
You look big.
Yeah, and the same thing happened in Sweden. I guess it was almost even more worse in Sweden than it was here. I remember back in, was it 2009, 2010? There was this big fitness festivalen in Gothenburg, the fitness festival. If you remember, what the fuck is his name? A big, no, not Branch Warren, but a big black dude.
Trains with Branch, Joe Jackson.
No, not Johnny Jackson. Fuck, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he got caught by the police in Sweden, and because of all that, he lost all his sponsors and such. Yeah, it was crazy.
No way.
And Jay Cutler was supposed to go there, but he refused because of the risk he took. Yeah, it was
okay.
It was
pretty
crazy
in Sweden for a while, because it was enough probable cause to wear gasp.
Yeah.
If you wore gasp clothes, they could pick you up.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy, but
crazy times.
But now it's better in Sweden, I guess. It's still the same laws that apply, but they're not targeting bodybuilders in that regard, and that we can see now, because there are more and more good bodybuilders coming out of Sweden. So
community there look massive at the moment.
Yeah. Some crazy dudes. Wow. Really,
just
really good.
if you compare the open class from Norway, Iceland, Sweden, how many open boys do we have in Norway? How many open boys are in Iceland? And then you look to Sweden. At ethvert, there was a class filled with Swedes in the super heavies.
Wow.
Yeah.
5-6 super heavies.
Yeah, it was. I remember once they had like they came here. I think it was Marcus Rule. He came here to Iceland. It was like there was like some kind of meetup in either a gym or a fitness shop or something. And there was actually like this, Icelandic, new news reporter. He came there, and you can actually find this video on YouTube. And he's talking to Marcus Rule, and he's like, "Yeah, so you were here, you're big," and he was like, "Yeah, yeah. So you use steroids?" Like straight away, and he was like, No, no," and he was like,
I'm natural.
but how can you get this big and not use steroids? And then it was like, we get tested, and and he was like, but you can't be this big and not take steroids. And you could see like Marcus Rule was getting pissed off this guy, and he was like really pushing him, and he was like, he basically said like, with all these best competitors, in the world, do they think they take some extra gear to get help or something like this? And the guy was like, yeah, I think so. And he was like, well, what are you gonna do? If it's and the dude was like, oh, so you still take steroids? And Marcus Rule was like, just shook his head. I think I walked out of the interview or something like that. But yeah, it was always like that. It was like always pushing these, pushing steroids.
Yeah, it's the same here. Every time, like if let's say some fitness competitor or a bodybuilder or anything get caught by the police for like fighting in the streets or something like that, the media always like focus on
grab on hold of that, and they forget to mention that they were
focus on that,
fucked up on 10 grams of amphetamines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing what happened here. It's like they always took some guys that were the same thing, fighting, drunk, fucked up out of their mind.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, they're so angry because of the steroid use.
Exactly.
So yeah, but and then came this point, they used to get this from like, I used to know about, they used to get some, from pharmacies. They were using like, back in the day, they like these steroids for animals. And then came this period of time, they started importing it in shampoo bottles. They used to take clean the shampoo bottles and put it in there, and import it. So it's gonna get dirty as well, And
I remember when we were talking at the restaurant, we were eating burgers. I was like, yeah, in Norway, they have to like sneak it past in trucks and stuff. And you're like, bitch, please. On Iceland, we have the fishermen. They are importing this shit for us.
Exactly.
It has to come by boat, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, yeah, like car, that's nothing. It's always with boats and and trying to get it also on the plane. Like just I can talk from experience. I got kind of into met a couple of guys, in the UK, and I used to go out there and train with them, and they like introduced me to some gear over there, and I never thought anything about it. I was just bringing stuff home, and with my luggage and all that, and once I was taken at the airport, and they stopped me. And it's kind of fucked up story, because I had just broken up with my ex, and so they took and opened the suitcase and took all the gear and everything and put it on the side. Didn't even think about And I was like, what? Okay.
Did you have a lot,
There were-
or?
I had a couple packages, you know. I had a couple packages.
Of course.
but yeah, so they used to take it and put it on the side and didn't, and then they start, you know, checking out the creatine and glutamine and everything, and I was like, what is happening, you know? They took the gear and they basically said, well, if you have subscription, you can get it back. If not, then you know, we have to take it. And while he was saying that, it was like a big, you know, chunky dude, and he was like reading on one of the packets, and it was clenbuterol. This helps you lose fat, right? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. How many pills should it take? I was like, I don't know. Start with one. I was like, oh, okay, you know. I was looking at it, and I didn't get any fine from the gear. I got fined because I had the day before I had like a meat. I bought like a really nice tenderloin steak that I cooked, and I had some left, and you know, it was raw, and I was like, I'm gonna eat that when I come home. I'm gonna cook it nicely, and I got the fine for that, but the gear disappeared. I was like, no, and so then I found out a bit later that like my ex had called the you know, security or the airport and saying I had been out because I was competing in the UK, and I was bringing back a lot of like amphetamine and stuff, you know. So yeah, it was
That's
like
what they were looking for.
Yeah, they were looking for that, but it was kind of funny. I never got any fine for the other stuff. It like kind of disappeared. So this has happened a couple times here. I've heard stories about, you know, if the cops have actually taken some stuff, or you know, if it's quality.
Airport, I think they're mostly looking for drugs and bombs and stuff. So in my experience, if they find some gear in your luggage and stuff, they mostly don't give a fuck about it. They might even just leave it.
Yeah.
So it's bombs and narcotics they're mostly looking for.
Yeah. For sure.
Actually,
Not that we are promoting illegal import of drugs. We are not saying that.
No.
No.
Of course not.
We're just talking from experience.
Yeah.
I just have.
And I have never done that. I have never brought anything.
No.
Never.
I just
like,
have. I just have to say, I remember the name of the bodybuilder in Sweden that got caught. Tony Freeman.
Yeah. I actually heard about that.
Yeah, it was in 2009 or 2010. He lost all his sponsors because he was caught by the police in Sweden.
We can't associate with you.
Yeah,
exactly. But what actually made like the change in Iceland? Because, as I said, back in the early 2000s, there, like, bodybuilding and fitness were like a big thing in Iceland. But what happened that made it change?
So I can tell you that. So we have this. We call them the dinosaurs, because we have these old guys that are controlling the IFBB here in Iceland. But they don't know the rules. They don't know anything. They have, you know, the judges are super teachers. You know, it's like that. So they used to be coaches, and they, you know, brought their clients and competed, and their clients were winning. So bodybuilding was getting really big again, and you could see it skyrocketing. And I remember there were beginning to be a lot of coaches and a lot of competitors. We were like maybe in junior class, maybe 8 competitors, and then you know, it was like 2 times a year, and it was like always you know, big thing around it. But they kind of got greedy as well. So when we had like a small expo, and they used to charge, you know, they want to give like a protein powder for the first place, and these guys, you know, were starting to get so much money out of it because there were many people coming to watch, and it used to be 2 days, these competitions.
Same here.
And so they start charging these companies like crazy amount of money to give a protein powder, or something like that to the first place. So many of these companies were like, we're not even selling a lot of stuff at this time and in these expos. So they kind of backed off. And then the guys that were controlling the competition starts losing clients because they were going to another coaches that were going, and competing. And so they did a thing that they decided, and to do this in a place in Iceland, we have 380,000 people. So bodybuilding is, well, a really small community,
Yeah.
They said, no proof of anything or nothing. They said, we heard that these coaches are selling gear. So these coaches are banned, and everybody that's getting coached by these coaches are banned, for at least 5 years. So then it kind of dropped. Everybody used to we stopped competing, and the shows got really small. And then at that time, CrossFit was getting big in Iceland. So people start competing there and doing that instead. So they kind of ruined it for themselves. They changed the place of the competition as well. So it went from, being 2 times a year in Reykjavik, and 2 days, from once a year in Akureyri, which is a really small town up north, where it takes like 5 hours to drive.
Whoa.
And they increased the price of competing, and then they used to have it always in April at Easter time, and used to get like really big trophies and the Easter egg and stuff, and good photos, and there was videos and everything. But they took that all out. Trophies got smaller. They even sometimes forgot to write on the trophies. So you got the trophy, and you're like, there's nothing written on it.
What did I win?
Yeah, well, what is like? It's like I could have went to some shop and bought the trophy, So a lot of, and of course they were, fucking over people because we were having girls that were in like really good shape.
Yeah, I remember.
And they were losing to women that were prepping for like 2 weeks. And then came the wellness class, and they were like, wellness. It's a class, it's an off-season class. So they started bringing people in, well, just fat, competing there in the wellness.
Yeah.
Because, and they ruined it. These guys, these so-called dinosaurs, they ruined it. But then we tried. There was this one guy that was a coach here and really loved the sport of bodybuilding, and he had like this called Iceland Fitness, and it actually got like really famous for. He was bringing a lot of these women competing in figure and model fitness and bikini fitness in like Arnold Classic in the US, and doing a lot of cool videos and around it. And he actually talked to the NPC when they split up, wanted with the IFBB, and wanted to have a show in Iceland. And they had actually 2 shows in Iceland that were really successful and really nice shows. Urs Kalsinski, he won his pro card there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, me neither. Whoa.
Yeah, he was like, actually, like at that time, I was competing in Olympia Amateur in the UK with the 2 pros pro. They're great. They're fantastic guys there.
That's the ranger there is.
Wonderful
You
people.
can talk about greed in Iceland.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. 2 bros takes it to another level.
Yeah. So I remember I met this German photographer and he told me like, oh yeah, there's this young kid, he's competing. Also, you should link up with him. His name is Urs, and we were actually backstage, and we were like eating cookies and talking. And it's such a nice guy. And I was telling him about the competition in Iceland, and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I want to do that." And I also would like to, meet Hafthor. And I said, well, he just opened a gym there, so we can definitely meet him. And so he decided to do that show. And I remember he told me like, I'm gonna try to get my program there. And I said, well, not if I have anything to do with it, and then he won his program there, and became like a superstar. But yeah, another thing I want to say is a really nice guy. I haven't talked to him for many years, and I was at the Arnold Classic in the UK a couple years back, and he's like fucking a superstar, and he had huge line and everything. And I was walking by, and he was like looking at, it's like, Omar. I was like, hey man, hey. And he walked out of the line, and he came and hugged me, and I was, oh, great to see you again. And I was like, oh yeah, you too, man. Yeah, go back in line, start being a superstar, so yeah, really humble dude, one of these like guys that are uprising, but still, managed to be humble and a nice guy. Yeah. So yeah, we had these two shows, and then what happened is that the guy that was having it had some, I think kidney problems or liver problems or something like this, and yeah, nobody it kind of dropped out, and we haven't had a show since, a good show like that since.
But do you have any like IFBB shows now, like in the spring and in the fall? Yeah,
we have one show. We have one show, and we have in November. No, in April.
Okay.
In Akureyri. And it's a really small show. They never answer. They don't tell you when the show is unless in like 2 weeks out. They tell you when the competition is. So you have to like figure out a little bit when to start the prep.
Oh my God.
And now the last time I said to my guys that I was coaching, I said like, I was coaching my little brother as well. He was wanting to do a show for the first time. And I was like, well, you guys are never going to do that show again. This is now completely, this is above crazy, because we went there, and I had this guy that I was working with for a whole year, and he improved a lot, and he was doing men's physique, and he was, his shoulders gotten so much better, and his chest and everything, and much fuller, much leaner. And he placed, so they just changed the rules how they like. So he placed fourth, and the guys that won prepped for 1 week, and the other for 2 weeks. So they were just soft. And they basically told him that they were looking more for a healthier look. So they want a healthier look, and so basically fat. And I was looking at the judges panel, and I saw Zumba teachers from some local gym, and so it's like I said to him, it's not worth it doing this anymore, because they were trying to get feedback as well, and they told him, well, you should get a coach that can get you in the position where you need to be.
Coach is me.
Yeah. So I was like,
need the money, and then you'll win.
Yeah. Basically, what they were saying. And I told my guy, he was so he was so heartbroken, and I said, hey man, we're gonna go for a show out in another country. This isn't right. I'm gonna show you how shows are supposed to be. And he was like, okay, I'm up for it. So we went to Ben Vider in Spain, and we squeezed him into bodybuilding minus 70 kilograms, and he got like super diced, really lean, and really dry, and he was like best shape of his life, and he won but was the only one in his class, but still won, and he was like super happy. And I said, like, okay, let's do a show in Sweden the weekend after. And he did that as well and won again out of 3 guys in bodybuilding minus 70 kilograms. And he said, like, wow, our show's supposed to be like this. You know, a lot of like...
That was a big realization for me as well. Going from Norway and competing in these shows, like I've never really had a good experience here in Norway. Going to Sweden, different fucking ball game.
Yeah, but that show in Sweden is like exceptionally good. It's like
really good.
One of the best in the world, I guess.
Guys, I can tell you, like, this show now, they had never had as many competitors.
No.
And I was looking at everybody. Everybody was on, you know.
Yeah.
The standard has gotten high.
Yeah, I was like, this is
it's a high level competition, like really good athletes.
Yeah. And you can see like the I think it's so good. Like when I started, you know, competing in other countries, I saw the standard and I was like, okay, this is the standard. This is what I need to work on. This is what I need to follow. And this is what I want my clients to follow. So people are seeing guys here and they are, you know, big, but they are really, really, really small fish in a really small pond, you know.
Yeah.
But they look big and people say like, oh, you're ready. Oh, you're ready. And I'm always hearing that, you know, and with my athletes as well, like, oh, you're ready. And they go and say like, hey, Omar, they're saying I'm ready. I'm like, nah, you're like 70%, maybe 70. Yeah.
You can always get harder, always get drier.
Yeah. And then they see the standard, and I think it's good because a lot of these Icelanders think that pro card. We have actually, I've heard guys talk about getting their pro card, like, oh, I'm gonna go there and get my pro card, and it was like, dude. Yeah. You don't know, you know.
It's the same here. Everybody's gonna get a pro card.
Yeah.
First prep ever, going for the pro card.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. But
road to pro.
Yeah. But a couple of questions. So basically, what you're saying is that the IFBB in Iceland self-destructed.
Yeah.
Consumed by greed.
Yeah.
By both greed, and they don't even know the new rules. They have like they don't know anything. They don't follow up on anything.
But do you or do the IFBB, when you have this competition, do they send like competitors to like European championships or world championships and such?
No, they used to do it. Back in the day. You need to ask them to.
Yeah.
Like me, when I decided to do my first show abroad. You know, I competed like 4 times naturally, and was like really young and wanted to try another show in another country. Yeah. And I asked them, and they said, oh, there's a Nordic championship in Sweden, and you will need to get our permission. And I got their permission. I was 17 or 18 back then. Yeah. And I was like, okay, great. So I said, like, how does this work? And they said, we'll send a judge with you guys that is gonna, you know, think about you and tell you what to do and what time. And I said, okay, well, that's wonderful. So I prepped. I did everything right. I was super lean. I was like really excited. We went to this shitty town in Sweden. I don't even remember what it was called. It was like really small. and they had like 2 restaurants there or something, and there was the hotel and then the venue, just 1 street over. And we went to the check-in the day before, and I said like, okay, when should we be here backstage? And they said, it's 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or something like that. I said, okay, fantastic. And I asked the judge that was with us, like, oh, they said this time. And he's like, yeah, that time, that's the right time. So I was in the hotel getting the last layer of coat of tan. And then I got a message, like, you should be on stage right now. I'm like, what? So I ran over the street and just like went backstage. And I saw my class walking down the stairs, and I said, like, what happened? What happened? Okay, can I show my routine at least, or do something? You know, I can be in less place, just please. You know, this is my first time ever. And they said, we started the show sooner because we thought everybody would be here.
Yeah. Typical IFBB. Like, typical IFBB.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, but can I please? And I was like, oh no, you're not in the show anymore. So get the fuck out. You know, you can't be in the backstage area. So I remember, you know, like 17, 18 years old, like heartbroken, you know. Yeah. Went back to the hotel room, you know, crying my eyes out, like saying like, oh, you know, just missed my competition. And yeah, that was like, that almost made me stop doing bodybuilding.
I think there's a lot of same experiences here in Norway, just by IFBB arranging horrible shows and treating people badly and putting people off from this great sport. And I remember the first time I competed, if I didn't have such a good time with what I was doing, I think the IFBB could have scared me away as well, because they were straight up assholes, not treating us nicely.
But you actually think that here in Norway, Vetle?
Oh yeah. I got like the same time as I competed the second time, and I got yelled at so much. It was the same the first time. I remember it was a Corona show, and we weren't allowed to eat backstage because we had to wear a mask at all times.
Yeah. You know, I remember the first time I interviewed you.
Yeah.
I remember. Vetle, like 80 kilos.
86 kilos.
Yeah.
How heavy are you now?
Right now, 117.
Yeah. Big boy.
We got two weeks left, then it's fucking blast off.
Yeah. I love what you're doing, you know, with everything you're showing, with your progress, with your leg and everything, you know. Like saying this is.
I try to involve the people that like to follow me in the whole process of rehab and everything. So I am pretty bad at social media, but I'm trying to get better.
Yeah. Me too, man. I was like, first I was always like, you know, second take, you know, trying, and I was like, why am I trying so hard? Just talk, you know, just do something, you know.
Be yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah,
just do it.
Exactly. Just fuck it. You know, nobody cares. Nobody's like, looking.
Exactly.
It's like
that's a realization you get as you get older, that nobody gives a fuck about you, and you can take that as a negative, or you can take that as a positive. I choose to look at it as positive, and I can just do whatever the fuck I want, and nobody gives a fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. I've been doing the same thing now. You know, like after just pushed everything away and said like, why not? You know, why not? You know, and
everyone's so obsessed with themselves that they're not really thinking about you. They're not thinking as much about you as you are thinking about yourself.
Exactly. True. So true.
Yeah.
I remember.
Plus, I think. Yeah. Go ahead.
With the podcast, you know, in the beginning, like the first 2 years maybe, I was so concerned of what I had said in a podcast. I could go several days and think about it. Oh, fuck, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't give a fuck. I can say like anything. I don't give a fuck. I just say whatever comes to my mind. And sometimes
speak your mind freely.
Yeah. But sometimes, well, maybe it wasn't the best decision to say just that. But anyway. So
I can tell you a funny story.
We must always be ourselves.
Yeah.
If you never are yourself, you're never ever going to fit in any place either.
Yeah.
A lot of people like create this character to try to fit in better, but when you're not yourself, you're never ever going to fit in there either. So be yourself, and your tribe is going to come to you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny, like when TikTok came, I had like, me on social media and on phone and with, computer. I'm like this. I'm like it's so funny. I'm like an old man. But like TikTok came and I was like, oh, okay, cool app. I was watching something, and then I saw like this video of and I'm talking about, I've been competing in shows like upper in other countries, and doing really well, and for my sport, and it's never been talked about. Icelanders, do a lot of. We have really good MMA fighters, boxers, dancers. Never talked about. Nothing goes into the news. This one time, TikTok came, and I was scrolling, and I saw this funny video of a guy telling a joke on English. And I told the joke in Icelandic, and that was my first video. And it got blown up. I'm talking about blown up. It was in the news. It was in like, and everyone was like, joking, feminist joke, And everyone's like, okay, Omar, what you need to do now is, because you could be really famous in Iceland, you gotta be the joke guy. You gotta be like, you gotta nail the steel while it's hot. And I was like starting to make some jokes, and I was like, do I really want to be known as the joke guy in Iceland, or do I want to be known as the guy that's really good in my sport? What I love to do. So I kind of like deleted the video, but only this like one video got so blown up, it went everywhere around Iceland, and I was walking down the street and people like, oh, can I get a photo with you? The joke guy, and it's like, yeah. But then something else happens, and if people forget, like every single weekend, it's like, it's about the news today. It's never about athletes or performance or anything. It's about who's fucking up the most in life. Yeah.
We have a lot of the same culture here in Norway in the media, that it's only the mainstream sports that get any media coverage. So that's like, what's it called? Skiing, the langrenn. What's that in English?
Yeah.
Cross country. So cross country, football, handball. That's about it. Like any other sport doesn't get any media coverage.
No.
Yeah,
so we have goddamn Olympian that have lived in Norway, and no media outlet wrote about it.
Oh, it's crazy.
When Maureen won Bikini Olympia, nobody talked about it. No. And that's the biggest fucking show in the world.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But
it's crazy. They hardly talk about Hafthor here, and he's doing amazing things. Hardly talk about him.
Really?
But yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, in the media,
What? He's a fucking superstar.
Probably don't want to write about him because of the sport he does and what is involved in the sport.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
But like
it's mad.
Like when you are a bodybuilder in Iceland, is the like police like watching you, so to speak?
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
It's especially, I think it's also the way I look. If you have a little bit of muscles and like I have a tattoo or something, I'm already a criminal. A really bad dude.
Exactly.
And because I have muscles, it's already like with peptides. I got this, got TP 500 and PPC. And I took like a story on Instagram, and I took a photo of it. And I said like, oh, this is great stuff for recovery. And I checked out who was watching, who had been watching my stories, and I was like, cough. Everybody's like, so the entire police department were looking at my story about TP 500 and PPC. I was like, we are like, Iceland used to be so safe. We used to have, nobody used to lock their doors, nobody locked their cars, kids were sleeping outside, everything. Now we're having stabbings every single weekend. We're some crazy stuff, but somehow the entire, I've had actually the police wait for me going out of the gym, to get a talk with me. Like, oh, what are you doing? Finishing the gym. Okay, where are you going? Home. Okay, it's like, why?
At home.
Yeah, and I've actually had the police drive by my house, park in my parking space, and then driving away. And it's like, I'm just a coach, that goes to the gym, and go home and eat. What the fuck,
What are
a bit like that in Norway can be as well. Like if I am out driving a car, they can sometimes I think they'll just search my number plate and they can pull me over. Once when I was shopping in Sweden, just over the border, like food and stuff. Got pulled over by border control after entering Norway again, and they did a full tear down of my car and like
really
ripped out everything. And all the other cars, just they let them go. And when they did, like I had illegal snus without tobacco, and I had way too much meat. They didn't give a fuck about that. Just keep it. And when they didn't find anything, okay, just go. And I remember I coached Ole Martin Christiansen when he competed in bodybuilding. So we were going to
just for the record,
Sweden.
He is like Norway's strongest man, like 2-3 times.
So he actually has a lot of connections with Haftor. So I have a lot of inside stories there as well.
Nice.
But we were traveling to Sweden. We were flying, and we got stopped by border control leaving the country.
Leaving the country.
So we were stopped by border control leaving the country, and we were stopped by border control entering the country again.
just to check that you didn't have anything on you, or?
Yeah. So they just went through our baggage and went through our hand luggage, everything. Didn't find anything, and just okay, go.
This has happened also here when 2018 we were a team here competing at the Arnold Classic in Ohio, and one of the guys there called Eyþór Melsted, he was a good, really good powerlifter, a strong man, and he was gonna compete there, and he got stopped, on the way out of the country. They were taking, and everything was looked at. And funny that you was talking about you were stopped by the police, because I was 1 week out before Spain. I was driving home on Sunday morning, it was around 7:30. I was going from a 24-hour gym that was open. Did my cardio. I was driving home, and the cops were there stopping every single car and just making them, like checking if they were drinking. And I was like, fuck, because I got stopped and I was looking at my face in the mirror and I looked like a fucking crackhead, just full chin, and I was like, they're gonna take me, and the woman was like, oh, can you, and she looked at me, step out of the car, please, so they took me and they were like, so you're doing a lot of partying? I was like, no, I was just finishing the gym. And they were like, right, and they were like, oh, we're gonna take you to the station and and check if you aren't any drugs. And they were like, can you take a sample from your mouth? And I was like, yeah, no problem. But just to tell you, I'm on ADHD medication, so they're gonna measure amphetamine. So because you guys know these pills, Elvans, or
Yeah.
It's basically
but
Adderall.
Yeah.
So basically, I said I have my medication subscription and everything here on my phone, and I was showing them, and they were like, yeah, but we have to check. And they checked, and they were like, okay, there's amphetamine, and I was like, yeah, I told you guys. So they took me to the station, took me down, and then they were asking me like, oh, so you were coming from the gym? Were you not partying? Why do you look like why do you look so tired? And I was like, because I'm on really low carbs. I mean, I'm really tired, and I'm kind of pissed off. I said, because you guys are making me angry now, And so they took me to the station, and they were like, yeah, needed to call a women's doctor in to take the blood sample. And then I was wearing a tank top under, and I was wearing like my gas hoodie. And then when I took it off, I had like veins everywhere, and they were like, oh, so yeah, you were in the gym. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, told you guys. So you are competing? And I was like, yeah. And the woman was like gonna take the blood sample, and I was like, yeah, there's no problem for you to find the vein now. And she was like, I just have to say, these are one of the best looking veins I've ever seen. It was like an old lady taking the blood. I was like, oh, well, thank you. And as soon as they were taking the test, they started like asking me like, oh, what competition? How does it work today? And because nobody knows anything about bodybuilding and competitions here now in Iceland, because it's it's not talked about anymore.
But how many like roughly active bodybuilders, fitness competitors are there in Iceland as of now?
So that are competing in other countries, I would say we are maybe 2-3 girls and 2-3 guys.
That's it?
Yeah, that are like active competing in other countries. But
yeah,
there are some guys that are competing still in Iceland, but I would not call them like they do a practice for 4 weeks and they come soft, and it's not even a competition,
No.
So
wow.
yeah, so it's like we still don't have any male athlete as a pro, but we have had 3 women that have were pro. One was in figure, one was in bikini, and she actually made it to the Olympia.
Oh, okay.
She was never talked about. Margaret Gunnar, she was really, really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so but the other girls have just stopped competing. I have this dream, of becoming the first Icelandic male athlete to become a pro. And I'm like always working on it and always trying to improve. And I'm actually like moving to Spain so I can focus more on improving and doing better. I am the only, like, I have competed 2 times like in the overall for a pro card.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like I think I'm actually like the only only guy that's doing something about it, trying to improve, and get better.
We mentioned earlier that the food both in Norway and in Iceland is very, very, very expensive. But what is your monthly cost, like roughly on just food?
So I'm really lucky that in the summertime in Iceland, I fish a lot. So I do a lot of like fly fishing, and that's like my, that's like my second hobby.
Yeah.
And I try to kill as much fish as I can, and so I stack up myself, So with the food wise, when I'm competing, I mostly just my main protein source is fish.
Okay.
But with other like just the other day, I was looking in the shop and I saw surtex bread. Surtex bread.
Sour bread. Yeah.
Sour bread. Yeah, €7
for like
small pack.
For one
small.
Oh my God.
Small packets, €7.
What about
It's like 4 in Norway, I think.
Yeah. And that is fucking expensive here. That's fucking crazy. What about chicken? What about 1 kilo chicken? How much? Chicken breast.
1 kilo chicken is like 4 times €7. So that's like like around that.
For 1 kilo chicken breast is like €28.
Yeah, €28, and they're usually not 100%.
What the fuck?
Yeah, not
in Norway, like 15 maybe.
Yeah, like you get like first price the cheap frozen chicken breast. It's like 2 kilos for 300 crowns. That's about $30. Yeah. $30. Yeah.
And we are having this, it pisses me off so much because we are having this problem now. Like our fish is our wealth. We have more fish than, fish costs same amount as meat today, like imported meat. The Icelandic fish. You can get Icelandic cod cheaper in the UK and Spain than it costs in Iceland.
We have the same problem here in Norway. That Norwegian salmon is more expensive in Norway than in Sweden, for instance.
Yeah, I mean, make it make sense.
It's an easy question to answer. We are the cash cow of the state. They want to milk us dry.
Yeah, exactly. I used to buy egg whites. They used to have egg whites in bottles, like 1 liter of egg whites, and it was like just pure 100% egg whites. And people start buying it, and what happened? They put it in 700 milliliters, and they put like water in it as well. So it's not as much protein anymore.
Whoa.
Also, I would say it's just gotten so crazy, the pricing of the food here, and the quality has gotten so bad. And also you have to, like, I bought beef mince, and it's like 16% fat up to 18% fat, and they said like in the package was like 500 grams, and in one package like 250 and 250. And I was like, can I eat 200 grams of it? And I opened the package and I was like, put it on the weight scale. And I finished the entire package and it was 195.
Yeah, same thing here.
So it's like, so it's like,
the same thing here.
And then I took the other package in the packaging and everything, and it should be 250 grams, and it was 245. I was like, come on, this is criminal. This is like, you're just this is theft, you're stealing. It's like
food manufacturers, they hide behind the rules that it's allowed with a percentage of up or down, but it's never over. It's always under, and if it's under the percentage, you don't get your money back or anything. You can just go and deliver it to the store where you got it, and you'll get a new one. But that will also have too little. So what's the fucking point?
Exactly.
So you're getting fucked in both ends.
Yeah, and there came a new tax now. It's not a tax. They say it's not a tax, but so they said they're going to lower the gas price of gas, but you have to pay for every kilometer you drive. So we were like, okay, they're going to lower, and I thought straight away, people in Iceland are really, really like really fast for getting things, So I said, like, I give it 2-3 months, and they will up the gas price again. So they lowered the gas price, and it was like 2.5 months, and they upped the gas price, and had the kilometer for every kilometer you drive. So it's getting so hard to live here that we are having like people around 40 plus years old living still in their parents' house. Whoa. And they say, oh, you get so much more money paid, but compared to how everything is getting so much higher and more expensive, it's like you pay your rent, you pay your car, and there's like nothing left.
Nothing left.
Yeah, it's really hard. I everybody I know is doing something on the side, like a lot of these girls I know, they're making nails on the side, to get a little extra, and it's just to survive.
If I didn't work 2 jobs here in Norway, no way in hell I can do this sport. With one job, with just one income, no chance, no fucking chance. So you have to hustle.
Yeah.
What is the what's it called in English? Gjennomsnittslønn, Vetle?
GDP? Nei.
What's the median?
Average income?
Average income. What's the average income in Iceland?
I checked out. It was around the same as in the UK now. Pretty much. So the average.
I can check on the.
Yeah. If you can check the.
I Google it.
Yeah. Google it. Like the average income.
Average.
Because it's hard for me to say, like.
Yeah.
Okay, if I was gonna say an Icelandic kroner, and okay, like
average as of early 2026, the average gross monthly salary in Iceland is approximately 800 to 900,000 ISK. What's that? Icelandic crowns, or
yeah,
it's about it's 5,800 to 6,500 US dollars.
And then then you get half of it, goes
while
to
income taxes are high, 31 to 46%. Wow.
And
oh my God.
When you say that, like 800, let's say 800,000 Icelandic kroners, and then you get the 46% tax on it. The regular pricing of rent here in Iceland, like a small apartment, is around like 280,
wow,
80,000 Icelandic kroners.
Yeah.
So there you have like 280,000 Icelandic kroners going to the rent, And what of this you have like maybe 400 something. So and then there's the pricing on the car, you know, then the pricing on the gas. Then you have to buy food. You guys can see there's nothing left.
No.
There's nothing left.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. And even like you know, small things like I used to like always buy the same oats. You know, I used to take these oats, really cheap oats, always in the same store at the same time, you know, when I was going every week, you know. And once they increased the price, it was like 90 kroners, you know, up to like 199. So they didn't increase it to 100 or 105, but all of a sudden, like one day, 199. And I was like, what? You know, how is this allowed? You know,
maybe we should.
I've seen a lot of that in Norway as well. Like, but here in Norway, they kind of sneak the prices up, just increase it like 1 krone every week. So things that cost 10 kroners 2 years ago, they are now 20 kroners. So a lot of items in our shops have doubled in price in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But maybe we should stop complaining, Vetle, because it's fucking more worse in Iceland.
Yeah, guys. I told you, it's like this is why like me and my missus are really thinking about like there's nothing for us here. There's no future. Like you know, in the winter time it's always dark, it's always cold. In summer we have our best summer days are like 12 degrees, and we get like 4 or 5 days a year, you know, that are these summer days. And you can see like when it's 8 degrees outside, you can see the guys like wearing their shorts, going to the pub, you know, like you know, wearing their glasses and everything, like wonderful day. And you know, I'm saying like we have, thank God we have our apartment here in Iceland that we bought at the right time, so we can rent it out. We can get a little bit, you know, a little bit extra on the side. Then you know, with my coaching, I won't even need that much to be in Spain. So you know, it's like. Yeah, I was telling my missus, like, is this even a question? You know, what do we want in life? Because she's working like crazy. She's just like goes to work, goes home, sleep, you know, gym, goes to work. It's the same thing, you know, here with me. Like we just work our asses off, and we can't put anything on the side. You know, we just have our, you know, shitty ass car, you know, that drives us from A to B, and you know, it's all good, you know, it's enough for us. But we just want to spend more quality time together and to like be happier in life. Just want to be more together. But it's like you know, people are not able to raise their own children because they have to work so much. So I was saying, like, you know, we would go to Spain and be in no more pain. And then, you know, and then if it doesn't work out, you know, the worst case scenario will come back to Iceland. You know, well,
exactly.
What is the worst thing, you know?
Yeah. You have nothing to lose to go and try it out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
One.
Alicante.
Sorry?
Alicante, you're thinking about, Omar?
Yeah. So I spent a month in November. I went to Marbella, went to Malaga, Benalmádena, Murcia, and Torrevieja and Alicante. And where I found would fit me the most was Torrevieja. You know, just the pricing and like also like the community, and just like chill, chill area. So I thought, this is the spot I want to be, and good gyms. So we're gonna do that. And I'm actually leaving end of this month.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Great.
yeah, it's gonna be good. And it's hard with the gyms here also. What is the age? How old do you need to be to go to the gym in Norway?
15,
What
16?
did you say? How old?
How old? Yeah.
I think
15
you
or
have to
16?
be 16, or you could get a parent's
Signing off.
permission.
Yeah, permission. Yeah.
And you can get in a little bit earlier, maybe 13, 14.
Yeah.
Okay. They lowered the age here
Okay.
because they want more money. So they lowered the age to 12.
Oh my God.
So now the gyms are stacked with
fuck.
kids, and you are trying to work out there, and it's really hard, and nobody putting their weights, back, and it's a jungle. It's a complete jungle. It's so hard just to get a good session in now today.
Yeah. They occupy the equipment and just play around.
Yeah. We're talking about 8 together, and you're like, hey, how many sets you got left? And they're like, we just started. Okay, so how many sets? We just started. And just do something, okay. And so this is, and also the mindset of the kids today is when I was young, I saw some big dudes, and I wanted to learn from them. What did I drop out? There was I got a call.
You're here. We can hear you.
Okay,
and
good.
see you.
I was trying to learn new things. I was asking so how do I work better on this and that, and I try to bring a good environment, to these young kids, and try to how I say talk to them sometimes and say hey, so what are your goals, what bodybuilders do you follow, and just a couple of days back I was speaking to this guy, and I was like, what is your favorite bodybuilder, and he was looking at me, and he was like, me, and then he was taking the tricep, and he was like I'm so huge, and I this is the mindset today, and I go how how can you? I have never looked at me this way. I would love to experience it at least once, maybe, But this is
You got to commend the confidence.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how it shifts,
Yeah.
I think the best bodybuilders are the bodybuilders that are never satisfied. They look at themselves and they only see, what can I improve?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. What do you think is the future of bodybuilding and fitness in Iceland?
So I heard some good news a couple weeks back. I don't know what's true about it, or if it's going to happen, but they were thinking about, there's this guy named Hjalti Ursus, he's a known guy here for powerlifting, and he loves the sport of just lifting weights and powerlift, and he's always gone to every expo in Arnold and taking videos there, and he talked to Jay Cutler and all these guys, and he wanted to bring, he talked to the NPC, he wanted to bring Jay Cutler in it, and have Jay Cutler Classic in Iceland.
Okay.
And wanted to have a huge expo, and and he wants to bring like Sam Sulek, and he would love to bring Samsung, and and he has done this once before, many years ago. He actually got like Marcus Rule, Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler.
Okay.
And it happened many years ago. Now he's really trying to do it, and he said like he's aiming for next year. Then I met him a couple days back, and he was walking out of the gym, and I said like, okay, so how's it going? I would love to help as much as I can, and if you guys need anything, just let me know. And he said, well, we have every single one of them are excited about it. They want to do it, but there's no place that's allowing us to have it. And I said, really? But you would bring a lot of people from other countries, and a lot of people in Iceland will go and buy tickets, and he's going to have like an MMA fight, and he's going to have a boxing fight, and a powerlifting meet, and like a huge event, for like a whole weekend. And they just go, no, we don't.
So there's no arenas that will allow it?
No, they don't like it. They don't want to have bodybuilding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But
and
what about
like
about is it like for an event like that, is it difficult to get like sponsors and stuff like that?
Yeah. Sponsors. Only thing about sponsors in Iceland, they call themselves sponsors.
Yeah.
But you just get 50% discount or 20% discount, and that's your sponsor deal for anything. And if you want any like sponsor help with promoting something, people don't want to do it. But there's one thing I see happen every single weekend now, and that is like they are having some parties in some pubs or something, and they're having bingo nights or pub quiz nights.
Yeah.
And they go and ask companies to give, and they're giving iPhones, and they're giving this, and all these like special help, and that's no issue, because it involves in drinking and partying and having a lot of, but something around, I think just something around health and fitness, and it seems to be like so hard. I don't know why, it's really sad. It's really sad.
Yeah. What about
it's pretty weird how it's become like people associate just drinking and partying better and almost like healthier than bodybuilding. It's pretty crazy. Like if you talk to someone here, like maybe they hit the town 2 times a week, get fucking wasted. But if you tell them that you do bodybuilding and you are using steroids, they'll be like, "Oh my God, you're going to die when you're 40 years old." Mate, you are doing way more damage to your body with the lifestyle you are living. And people, they have no conception of it. They think it's better.
I just have to piss.
Yeah.
That you?
Yeah, it's.
Omar will keep the.
We'll keep chat. Yeah, keep chatting. I know what you mean.
You know what you should talk about? Your sauna protocol in 2024. You remember that when you put on so much goddamn water?
Yeah, fuck, man, dude, I looked like. That was really fucked up. Well, one thing I was gonna go into is like also when people say, well, when are you going to start eating healthy, eating regular food? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I eat potatoes, I eat rice, I eat fish, I eat meat, I eat eggs. What is healthy? Well, what is KFC? What is like, but yeah, it's,
we have the same thing here. People ask like, oh, when are you going to start eating normal? It's like, never. I'm going to be eating this way the rest of my life. proper food. I see what the guys that I work with when I work construction, what they eat, that's considered normal, and it's like buns, Coca-Cola, just baguettes with pure shite in them. And that's like, yeah, this is the normal food. This is how we have to
Yeah.
eat. And if you eat healthy, like proper single ingredient foods, that's considered unnormal.
Yeah.
How did we end up here?
I have no idea. Like you have this, Tupperware with chicken, rice, and vegetables, and people go and look at you and they're like, What a loser," Yeah.
It's the
And
same here. It's pretty bizarre.
it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, the sauna protocol. This was so I was doing the show, the European show, the European Championship in the UK, and so so I was doing classic physique there, Division A, because I was 170 point, 1 or something, and I could be 170.2, and I needed to be like 82.6 kg, something around that. I wanted to see where I would stand next to, light heavyweight bodybuilders as well. So I did that show. I placed fourth in classic. I think it was, fourth in classic. And then I wanted to, there were 14 or 15 competing in light heavyweights, and I wanted to aim for top 5. I was just going to do it like an extra class. But I got sixth. So I was like really close, but I took down some really big dudes, and I was really light. So I was, I was just happy. It was just an extra class just to see where I stand. So I was gonna do the show, the Gasp in the weekend after, and I weighed myself while I was in the weigh-in for that classic class. Yeah, in the European, I was 81 kgs. So I needed to, after my carb up and everything, I went up so many kilos up. I did like a three or 2 day carb up, and yeah, I decided, okay, I'm gonna do bodybuilding minus 80 kilograms next weekend. But taking that off in that 1 week was really hard. And I remember I was flying from the UK over to Sweden, and I didn't eat anything that day. I didn't drink anything because I was over the 80 kilograms cap, So then I went to a weigh-in, and I needed to take 600 grams off. I think it was something around that. So I was like, okay, fuck, I can't piss because I don't need to piss. I don't have anything in my stomach. I can't try to puke or something, I don't have to take a shit. I was like, what the fuck? I need to find a sauna. So I was like trying to find a sauna, and finally found a sauna in a hotel close by. And I got an Uber there, and I said like, hey, can I please use your sauna? Can I please? And they were like, oh, it's only for the guests. And I was like, I promise you, I'll be really quick. Can I please, you guys would be saving my life. And it was like, and the woman was like, okay, just use the sauna. And then I was like, do you guys have also a weight scale? And they were like, we can check. And then they brought me a weight scale. So I was like, okay, put all my clothes on and went to the sauna. And I was like, in the sauna doing this, and like walking around, and I was sweating and wearing my clothes. And then I took all my clothes off and weighed myself. And I was like, what? Only down 200 grams. It's like, fuck, I've been here, for like half an hour or something. What? so I just went back, in the clothes and was like, we're really in the sauna, doing again. And then I went back out, took my clothes off, and it was like, what? Only 50 grams down. It's like, what the fuck is happening? I can't, what? I went back to the sauna and was like, I'm going to really push it. So I was in the sauna for around an hour in all my clothes, and just like pouring. And then I was like, and now it never crossed my mind that the weight scale could be wrong. I was like, because I hadn't eaten anything. I was completely out of carbs, and I was like, so I went out to the sauna and it was like the same weight. Then I was like, okay, the weight scale is wrong. It must be wrong. So I put another pair of clothes on, and I was like walking, and I was sweating and sweating and sweating, and was like still sweating. And I was like, and took an Uber, and my friend was with me, and he was like looking at me, and I was like this, and he was like, it's like, Omar, I've never seen a guy look so much like a skull. This is freaky. And I was like, yeah, you gotta help me. You gotta help me. Help me in the car. And the Uber was like, you're sweating everywhere. You're sweating. And I was like, yeah, just drive. I need to make this weight. I need to make this weight. And then I needed to just be under 80 kilograms, right? And then I went up and went to the weight scale, and I was like, and they were like 77, and I was like 77 kilos, and I weighted 80 kilos and 600 grams or something, first, and this was like, okay, so I made weight, and I was like, gonna pose and just felt everything, and I was like, I need to get something in me, and my friend was helping me down the stairs and was helping me to this place where we're going to buy some chicken and rice, and and then I was like, start drinking and eating, and he took a photo of me. I was like flexing like this, and my arms were like, there was like no fullness in the muscles, and just a bicep was like, it was like gone.
Flat like a pancake.
Then yeah, I was so flat, and so I started eating, I started drinking, and and I felt much better. And then I fell asleep. And then the day after, we were aiming for like 800 grams carbs at first, because the weekend before I took like 1100 grams of carbs easy, But then I was eating and drinking, and I wasn't peeing anything, and I just felt me just getting like tighter and bigger, and like, and then I just felt my face was getting like swollen, and I called a buddy of mine, and he was like, dude, yeah, you just drink more, and I was just drinking a couple more liters and eating, and it was like, oh, something's wrong. So I went to the hotel room, and I was going to take a check-in photo, and I looked at myself, and I was like, holy fuck, this is done. I'm not competing. I look like a fucking water buffalo. And then I took my pants off, and I was looking at my ass, and I took my ass like this, and I was like, and it was like, I looked like fucking Nicki Minaj, And I was like, what the fuck is happening? It was like, it wasn't peeing anything, and we bought vodka and was like trying to drink vodka, and then I had some diuretics and took diuretics, and it was like waiting, and nothing was happening, and I was just like, and then I kind of broke down. I was like, I'm not competing tomorrow. I'm not competing tomorrow. I look horrible. I look fucking horrible, So this was really. So this was kind of early. I didn't eat anything else. I had my friend with me, and he was like, "No, Omar, you look fine. You look fine." I was like, "Shut up, man! Just want to go to sleep and just turn off the lights and put some headphones on and laid in bed." And I was like, "This is all over," and just And then I was laying in bed and I was listening to some music, and after a while there came like a song like, oh, never give up, or something like this. And I was like, oh, and I was massaging myself like this. And then I remember there was a guy, like a massage therapist in the UK, Nathan, he's called, a really knowledgeable dude. He was like saying, if you massage areas, where you're holding water like that, it will find its way to break through and, flush out. So, but you have to get like complete calmness. And you can imagine I was just stressed and the cortisol and everything off the roof. But I somehow, just laid down, with turning off the lights, and I was doing this, and then all of a sudden, like after an hour or so, I needed to pee, and I was like, okay, and took a piss, laid back down, and was listening, and I was like doing this and massaging the areas. I did this for 7 hours straight.
Whoa.
Almost the entire night also. And I was getting my friend, to massage my ass. I was laying there and he was like, you gotta massage it like this. And he was like massaging it, and I was like, okay, yeah. And I wasn't drinking anything, wasn't eating anything. And all of a sudden, like, I was like, I need to pee. I took a piss and laid back down, and he was like doing my hamstrings, and I was like, I need to pee. And every single time I was peeing, we celebrated. We were like, yeah. It was like, yeah, I'm peeing, man, I'm peeing. He was like, yeah, you're peeing. And we were there together, listening to some music. He was massaging me, and I was like, both, like a really pro moment. Then I fell asleep for like half an hour or something, and I woke up and I was like, holy fuck, I need to pee. And I went to the bathroom and I had a song on, and the song was like about 4 minutes. It was like 3 minutes something, and I was peeing, and I was just pissing the entire song. I have never, I've never, the song finished and I was still finishing peeing, and I looked at me and start squeezing my legs and start touching myself, and I was like, I'm getting harder everywhere. And I like took my pants off and I was like, yeah, I see veins, I see, it's like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna compete, and something's happening. And then, the stress was completely gone, and I just kept on doing this the entire day. And the day after, I went to the tan, and I was just keep on doing it. And I didn't even look that good while I was getting the tan. I was still like, took some check-in photos, and I was like, I'm a bit off. And then I went to, and then competed in the classic, and I placed third. And I looked okay. I was pretty happy just with how I managed to take the shit off. And then the bodybuilding was a bit later, and I was just laid down again, and I was still like massaging. And then I went to bodybuilding, and I remember when I was like pumping up, I could see like I'm way drier. I look much better. And they were saying, like, when I went on stage, they were like, how did it change so much, between these classes? He looks way better, in bodybuilding, way better. And I won that class. So I think if I would have looked the same as I looked in the bodybuilding class in the classic class, I would have won that also.
Yeah. It's
The look
crazy.
you had in bodybuilding, that was fucking crazy. You looked like you were inside out.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, it was fucking. It was mad, It was. I was just like the things you can, because I started like in my mind. I was saying, if this can go on me so fast, there gotta be a way to take it off. In similar amount of time.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
And I think also, after the stress levels went down, and after I've been massaging everything, and the diuretics did their job as well, and everything starts working smoothly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. It was yeah.
quite
this is a
right.
really good testament to never giving up, because you were ready to give up the day that this happened, and then you fucking won your class and you got a GASP sponsorship just by not giving up.
Yeah. It was like, and plus, like, you go to a show and you have like you think like everything's, I have no idea where I'm gonna place, because of everything what happened. And the same amount, the same thing happened this year. Like last weekend, I was so sick. The after I came home from Spain, I had this infection in my throat, and it just couldn't talk, and was trying to pose, and was like, and tried to call the doctor's office to get antibiotics, and they were putting me on hold for 2 hours, and I was like, oh, please, no, okay, I have to go. I said, okay, I will go, because I have my clients, and my friend was also competing, and like, to see what happens. And then I went on Facebook, and I was like, dude, I need antibiotics. I need the codeine, I need this for my throat, And there was like a really sweet Polish lady that came by my house and brought like a goodie bag of stuff from Poland. She was like, you can't find this stuff here. I was like, here you go. And I started taking that, and I actually started, because I needed antibiotics so much. I found like antibiotics for my dog. I started taking like the antibiotics supposed to be my dog, because I was like so desperate. I just need something to help me with this. But I was really watery. I was holding a lot of water, and it was like a horrible look, and I couldn't even pose, and I just was really sick, and I was like, okay, I got these antibiotics. I'll take them now. Maybe if I will then stop them, my digestion will be a little bit better, and then I will probably get sick again. And that is exactly what happened. But like, so I traveled, and I drank only like 1 liter of water and two cups of green tea, and then ate like 100 grams of chicken. And I, just because I had no idea what my weight was, I had no idea what will happen in the flight, what will, I didn't want to take any chances. And after the flight, and after the travel, and after everything, I was there, finally at the place, and my mom and my mom came from Spain, and my brother from Iceland to surprise me there. And I was like, hey, hey guys, and it was really a beautiful moment. And so yeah, we went to the weigh-in, and there was like so many athletes, and I still no idea how I looked. I hadn't taken any, checking photos in the morning or nothing. And I was like, okay, told my brother, hey, can you come with me? I just want to check on the look a bit. Went outside, took my clothes off, and we took a couple, checking photos. And he was like looking at me, and he was like, I said, what? Okay, show me. And I saw the photos, and I was like, wow, okay, this is way better than I thought. Fantastic. And then I decided, okay, I will do classic if I'm in the weight cap. And I've actually grown taller now. I was 171.6. Last year I was, the year before that I was 170.2 centimeters. How does this happen?
My first prep, I actually shrank 5 centimeters. So I'm usually 188 off season normally, and when I was competing the first time, I measured in an 183.
Oh my God!
So I shrank down 5 centimeters.
Yeah, well, it's something, why is it? It's just with your
I think it's fat under your heels, under your foot. It's
Yeah.
water between your discs, and also I think your cushioning in your spine gets more compressed by the weights you are using, because you don't have as much cushioning on your body to absorb
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I think also it can have something to do with, because all this prep and because I had some shoulder issues, and I remember Chris Bumstead was talking about, like, just hanging on a bar. So I start doing this every morning, like 3-4 sets, just hanging on a bar, like, as long as I could. I don't know, maybe this had something to do with it, but
It's a
definitely.
super good way to decompress the spine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can gain a centimeter or two by doing that. Or inversion tables are also very popular. So you hang your feet in the table and then you hang upside down.
Yeah.
I know a lot of classic competitors before height in as well. They have their boys like pull at their feet and hands to try and make them become a little bit taller.
Yeah. So some have their hair way up. And...
Oh, yeah.
That as well.
Do you remember that Andreas Dam told us when he was at, I think it was EM or VM, that he has like very spiky hair, and they stopped with the measurement on top of his hair.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I remember. One thing we have to talk about before we go, it's about the medical care. The differences maybe, or maybe it's even worse than in Norway and Iceland. I don't know. But me and Vetle did a podcast a while back where Vetle had some medical issues that he have struggled with a long time, and like it's almost impossible for a bodybuilder to be taken seriously and to get the help that you are entitled to get. But as soon as you like mention that you're a bodybuilder, or of course they see that Vetle is a bodybuilder and is using steroids, it's like impossible to get the help that you're entitled of.
It's like you've done this to yourself.
Yeah.
Go help yourself then.
Yeah. Almost.
That's the attitude that we are met with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that the same in Iceland? That or
I can tell you guys this, that I never now go to the doctor's office unless I have a broken arm, and they put me in they can put me in the thing, and then I get out. Yeah. Sometimes even I've had the broken wrist, and I just try to fix it myself because of the stupid things that are here. But with the blood test, like I can tell you a story that I went once, and I was like, I need to get my blood work done because I think something is wrong, and they were like, no, you're good. And I was like, no, I think something is wrong. I need to check on my liver and kidneys, and and they were like, no, you're young, you're good. And I was like, please, can you like, can I get this blood test done?
So they didn't want to test you, your blood?
Yeah, they didn't want to test me.
Oh my God.
And he said no, but wait just a moment. And he said to me, and I was like, oh, okay. And he came and brought up paper, and was like, can you answer a couple of these questions for me? And I said, like, okay. I thought it was something about maybe the blood test.
Yeah.
First question was, do you feel sometimes down? Sometimes. Next question, are you sometimes tired? And there was like, 4 boxes. Sometimes. The next question, do you feel sometimes you have less energy? Sometimes.
Like everybody.
It was like it was just it was like Do you feel sometimes sad or something, or like extra tired or something like this, And I said like, and there was like, you should write, and I said, yeah, in the winter time, it's dark, and the guy took it and he's like, yeah, okay, I can see you have a light depression.
You need vitamin D.
And I was like,
oh
okay.
My God.
So what does that mean? I am going to write you a 6-month subscription on depression medication.
What the?
And I was looking at him and I was like, are you talking about Ceftral? And he was like, yeah, because every single one of, like every other man in Iceland is on fucking Ceftral. And I said, well, they only work in like 60% of the time, right? And he was like, yeah. And you go down first and then maybe you go back up, right? And he was like, yeah. And it destroys your manhood, so you can't get a heart on to save your life, right? And he was like, yeah, you gotta, say goodbye to some things to feel better. And I was like, I have a girlfriend, she's gonna say goodbye to me, if I can do anything, So I was like, no, I don't want this. Yeah, you should do this. And I said, no, I just wanted the blood test. And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna write you the subscription. I would recommend you go to the pharmacy and take it out. 6 months. Write the subscription. It's on you now.
It's fucking crazy.
And I stood up there and I was like, is this done? And he was like, yeah, you can go now. And I paid and went away. And I did not get my blood work. I just got this medication that I didn't even want,
Oh my God.
So I didn't take out the pills because, I had tried them before and it completely shut my manhood down. So
yeah.
This is, and I was actually, doing a research, and they're taking a very big chance because, it goes like this. If you're feeling so horribly down and it takes you further down and maybe brings you back up to a little bit higher level or same amount.
Yeah.
But if you're a guy that's thinking about killing yourself and they put you on these pills, they're like playing Russian roulette with you, because let's say you go down and you won't even go back up, you're gonna do it. You're gonna and a lot of the studies have shown that people actually have committed suicide while they're going down on these medications. So why the fuck would they do that? So next time I went to the doctor's office and decided to get the blood test. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this fucking blood test done, So I went there and I said, like, I want a blood test. And she's like, no, I decide if you need the blood test or not. Why do you want the blood test? And I was like, I want to check out my system and I want to check out my hormones. Have you taken steroids? And I was like, yeah, it has happened. And she was like, no, then you're not gonna get blood test. And I was like, okay, I'll tell you what. Because everything here in Iceland is about Facebook and social media and coverage about, I'm gonna write your name down on Facebook and make a huge text talking about how you are not gonna give me, help me with my doctor's appointment to check out my blood test because I am dying. I am dying. I feel I'm dying. There's something wrong. I have to say this like that. And you're going to be accountable for that, for my death. I had to just be like this to her. Yeah, let's just get your blood test done. That's fine. And I was like, why do you need to do this like this?
But in Iceland, do you have to get the blood test? Do you have to go to the doctor to get it? Because here in Norway, we can go straight to the lab to Fürst, it's called here, and you can get a blood test there and like read your own blood work.
I've heard now that there's this one guy I know he's working on getting that through, that you can do it like similar way that you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
But you usually need to go to the doctor's office, and you need to call every single morning. They open at 8, and you need to call at 7:59. If you call at 8:01 or something, you're not gonna get a time,
No, I see. What about hormone replacement? Is that a thing in Iceland? Like, if you're a man and 40 years old, you have low libido, etc., etc. Is it possible to get like HRT?
I have
TRT?
I have helped a couple of guys, older men, and they have told me that they went to the doctor's office and they were pretty much non-existent, and they got testo gel,
Gel,
So they get that gel, but that doesn't work jack shit.
No. It's like your levels go like skyrocket and like straight down.
Yeah. I've heard of some that have actually gotten through of getting a shot, but they have to go every single month and they get one shot.
Yeah. Same here.
And then they go like, up and then down and then get another shot. And and I've been like, some guys, have actually been like asking me about this, like older men, and I have helped them and told them like what they need to do.
Yeah.
And I have actually gotten calls back like, "Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You have
I have a new
saved my
life."
marriage. You saved everything. My wife is happy. I'm much better. I'm like they're like, thank you. And I'm like, hey, no problem.
Yeah.
And especially also with and it's hard to do this as well here in Iceland, because we were talking about gear earlier. Like gear now in Iceland, to get quality gear is really hard. And I would say like 95% of the gear that's here, it's made by a couple dudes here together, and they underdose everything like crazy. So they have like they test 250 per mil. We have actually measured it, and it has measured like under 100 per mil. So a lot of like these young dudes are like, starting their cycle or something, and they're just like not even they're getting lower testosterone than they were before.
That's not a problem here, I think, with fake gear, because the competition
it was a bigger problem before. I think.
The competition today is so big. So if you have like bad gear, you like get squeezed out of the market at once.
Yeah. They do it here the other way. They just still have the bad gear. They just buy new labels, just put on new labels, and they're like, new stuff.
Yeah.
But they're it's it's really sad, and it's but this is the Icelandic way of everything. Like pay a lot and get nothing. It seems to be with everything here.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of private health clinics in Iceland?
No.
Or private doctor clinic, I could say.
Yeah, I mean,
so in Norway we have like Dr. Drop-in, Aleris, what's called
Volvat. Yeah, we have a lot of private like doctor clinics, and so there, if you are willing to pay a little bit more for healthcare, you get real good help, and they are more. They are much more willing to help you if you're a bodybuilder or whatever. So a lot of a lot of folks I know go directly and pay a little bit extra and actually get help.
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, I think there's like one, but to get an appointment, you call today and you get it next year.
Oh, but that's not a problem here, I think, to get.
It's very fast in Norway,
yeah.
like almost same day appointments.
Yeah, because we have like a system here that's called fastlege. It's like you are
family doctor.
Yeah, family doctor, and you that is your doctor, and I can get an appointment today if I want.
They used to have, it used to be like this in Iceland. You know, you could have the family doctor, but it's hardly any time. You won't get the time with your doctor in many months. You know.
Oh my God!
And they are always changing up. You know, always changing doctors as well. So usually, like if you have some doctor once, you're not going to get the same doctor next time.
Oh my God.
Because it's just healthcare here. It's super crowded. I mean, in the hospitals, you know, we got people, you know, sleeping in bathrooms in the hospital.
Oh my!
You know, with their hospital care, you know, because there's no room for anything.
But if you go to the doctor, is it expensive, or do you pay a small amount and the rest is covered by the like? Yeah. I would say, you know, if you get this, it's not that expensive, you know. If you go to this, if you call in the morning and you get this appointment, like let's say you call at 8 o'clock and you get this appointment like 4 o'clock at the daytime, you just get a small amount of time, and you can just like ask one question, you know, basically one thing, and for that you don't need to pay that much. Okay.
But still, you know, I think it's a bit high for even that. Because I went to, when I was in Spain, you know, and I went to the doctor's office and I had like the card, you know, that healthcare card from Iceland, you know. I was like, okay, what do I need to pay? Oh, no, you have the card. I was like, oh, really? Okay, thank you. And I got, but Iceland, if you have the card, even from another country, and you have this, you know, healthcare card, you still have to pay a little bit. So it's like it's always a little bit of squeezing, you know.
What I've gathered from this conversation is that Iceland and Norway, they are very similar, but Iceland is like hardcore mode. So it's cranked up even more than what we have to deal with.
And I think it's so funny, like because I always see these like videos of like tourists saying, "Oh, Iceland is the happiest country in the world. Like everything's, you know, beautiful here, and it's like no crime, you know, nothing." And you go like, well, you guys are talking about something that was like 30 years ago, you know.
They're spouting the same info here in Norway. Oh, it's the best healthcare system in the world, happiest place in the world. That was 20 years ago.
we're always best at everything. We're always like best at everything, doing the right things, you know, and you know, our bosses don't even work that well, you know. It's nothing, you know, it's like, but still we're doing everything completely right. And we're doing it our own way. But sometimes we need to follow the Nordic way of other lands, you know. And but this is hard.
One of the nice things I have thought about coming up in these types of countries is that you learn to handle hard. So when you go to Spain, or when I've been thinking about Sweden or Spain myself, when we go there, bodybuilding is going to be so fucking easy. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everything, life, just so much easier. It's crazy. Yeah, and I think it's good that, you know, because you value, like when I am in Spain and I'm buying, you know, food there and doing this and, you know, living like a regular life, you know, buying, like I choose the cheap stuff and you know, but still quality, and you evaluate it so much and you go like, wow, this is amazing. And just getting sunlight.
Yeah.
It's I just look at the sky and say, wow, it's gonna be one hell of a day, you know.
You appreciate
Yeah.
life much more.
Much more. Just going out for walks, you know, going out for walks, you know, I appreciate that so much more, because going out for walks here, sometimes we have like a storm. So it's like, yeah, they call it like, nobody should go out for a walk now today. And like, yeah, say like simple things in life. Yeah. It's called like,
Agreed.
Yeah. Really nice and interesting conversation, this, Omar. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, the pleasure's all mine. You know, it's I've been like looking at your podcast and, you know, really like what you're doing, but can't understand anything. But still, you know, cool stuff.
Well, thank you, I guess. Anyway, now me and Vetle can relax a little bit and appreciate what we have here in Norway, because it's no longer the worst country in the world to actually be a bodybuilder.
For sure, definitely.
Great, thank you so much for today.
Yeah, awesome. Great to see you guys.
Talk to you guys.
Very nice to catch up, Omar.
Yeah,
it's been way too long.
Way too long. When I go to Spain, you know, you have to come over, and I can also like come over to Norway, because it's going to be cheaper to fly than, you know, all this. Yeah.
Oh, when you move to and get settled to Spain, I'll come over for a trip.
Definitely. That'd be awesome.
All right.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Talk to you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.